I will be talking about women in the United States military, so the region this presentation will be focused on is the United States. Since the U.S. is less than 250 years old, it is considered to be one of the youngest countries of the world. Several people long to immigrate to this country since we offer greater freedom, acceptance, and economic, social, and political opportunities for the citizens of the country. America has fought in a total of 12 major wars, plenty of them being successful. Some of the most meaningful wars America fought in included the Revolutionary War, in which America gained independence from Britain, creating the official document called the Declaration of Independence in 1776. In the Civil War, two halves of America fought, as the Confederates from the South failed at their attempt to separate from America. World War I had begun in the 20th century, which soon led to the Great Depression, which detailed a long and severe recession in the United States economy. This occurrence later transitioned into the start of the Second World War, in which women only held non-combat roles in the U.S. military. Some of these roles in which women served included nurses, support staff, cooks, administrators, or laundresses. During World War II, thousands of women who had served the United States were instructed to rejoin normal civilian life by giving up on basically all of their military service and goals. It became known as an unfortunate truth that women always were involved in some type of conflict related to the military. Some examples include the female prostitutes who had followed in the steps of the Continental Army, the Revolutionary War women who had served as medical caregivers, and the washwomen, and the female nurses who held jobs in hospitals in the military just to feed and clothe the injured soldiers, specifically during the Civil War. Due to the increase in demand for soldiers in World War II, more women were requested to enlist in the military as positions such as telephone operators, weather forecasters, and translators, which were all still under the non-combat categories. But in 1948, women took a crucial first step toward becoming equal members of the U.S. Armed Forces, when the United States Congress passed the Armed Integration Act. Another outcome of this act was giving women all the veteran benefits of which male members received. However, women were still not paid equal to men and received lesser treatment, as they were often doubted for the extent of their ability. Unlike men, women in the military faced several obstacles and personal struggles. They have always been viewed as being too physically weak, as they are proven to have on average only 60% of the physical strength that men have, and a skeletal system that is much more prone to breakages because of it being less dense. Because of these facts, society considers it unacceptable for women to risk their lives with the possibility of being killed, and think the military should remain a male-dominated field. Also, since women have specific reproductive health needs that can be seen as more complicated and restrictive than men have, the United States military saw this as an excessive cost to their field, when they could have just had men who do not require such necessities. Additionally, women have a long history of suffering from sexual harassment in the military. They have been and are still often seen as sexual objects by other men and their troops, and these widespread sexual assault cases in America strike an urgent call to action to improving these circumstances. Due to the lonely conditions of troop members in the military, many men tended to take advantage of women, which also led to an increase in women getting pregnant, which also took away time from them being able to serve as combat roles in the military. Another disadvantage of this is that it has been proven that many female military members have been scared to report any sexual trauma that may have been dealt with. They felt a fear in reporting it since they did not want it to be the cause of being held back in their careers and aspirations. They did not want it to be a reason for them to suffer from embarrassment or even more harassment from other fellow male soldiers in their troops. I do believe women should be allowed to serve in all types of combat positions, despite any physical setbacks or disadvantages they may or may not have, as long as they are to continue to be treated equally by their fellow counterparts. Luckily, beginning in 1976, women were admitted to the United States military service academies. In 1993, the United States Congress authorized women to fly fighter jets and serve on combat ships. In 2013, Leon Panetta, Defense Secretary, announced that all positions of the military will be opened up to women starting in 2016, including all combat positions. Fortunately, now women are given opportunities to lead as officers over certain male troops. Our country as a whole has gone a long way in equalizing the admittance of women in the military, and now is just focusing on making sure women seek equal treatment and representation as men do in all circumstances. Thanks for listening.